Are we live?
Are we good?
Yes, every time.
All right. Well, I have to make sure we're actually on air. I can't start sharing these details if we're not. Anyways, guys, welcome back to the weekly live stream of Lights On, the world's first online sanctioned gloving competition, brought to you by gloving.com, sponsored by our good buddies over at Beverages. Bam, right there. Today is a super exciting day. What day is it?
Today, we finally have the top 64 of season 1. So we finally know who made it into the actual tournament, and we're super stoked to share it with you guys. Just so you know, we're not telling you right this second. You will have to stick around while we go through some more information about everybody in there. But yeah,
stick
super
around
excited.
for 5 to 10 minutes, and then you'll find out who's in the game.
Yep.
So yeah, let's just jump right into it. I think the deadline was last week. You know, we got hundreds of entries in, and it took Alex and I and our internal team here quite a bit order to review. Yeah, too long to review all these entries that came in. I mean, honestly, it was tough to choose and finalize that top 64, but it was also really interesting to see what kind of entries we got in.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like you said, you know, a couple hundred entries that came in. Honestly, sifting through all of those, listening to the same 3 or 4 songs was pretty brutal on our end. But it was cool, man. We got a lot of cool people out there. Really surprised to see some of the names. And there's some familiar names and a lot of low-key names that really just came out and surprised us. So super excited for everybody that made it in. And on that note, for anybody who didn't make it into the top 64 of season 1, don't worry. You guys will have another chance at season 2 of Lights On, right?
Yeah, let me tell you a little bit about season 2. So season 2, you know, one of the biggest things that we heard for season 1 was, you know, oh, I'm not good enough to make it in, or oh, there's no way I can compete with so-and-so and so-and-so. So with season 2, we're gonna have 2 separate brackets, 64 people each bracket. One is basically gonna be, you know, obviously your sponsored glovers or your professional level glovers, or even you amateurs who want to try to compete with them. And then the other bracket is going to be basically for the newer glovers out there. So we're just trying to level out the playing field and allow the amateurs to compete, you know, in this field. And if the pros want to compete there, they can. And if the amateurs want to go to the pros, they can try. But again, you know, we're just trying to get everyone involved. So, hey, I forgot what your name was, but you said I don't want to enter because I'm not good enough. Well, guess what? Now you can enter, compete with people on your level, and you can win a bunch of cash while you're at it. So anyways, I'm gonna leave it right there. Stay tuned, stick with us for the next few weeks. We're gonna be announcing season 2, 2 brackets, 64 each, different skill levels, so everyone can have fun.
Yep. Really cool. I guess from there we can kind of jump into who are the competitors for season 1, right? Like who actually made it in? And it's really surprising to see, you know, how many people that we didn't know actually didn't even recognize the names for the people that entered. I think we have some stats here actually looking at them. 67% of people that are in the competition are non-sponsors, right? Which is pretty cool.
That's pretty cool, you know, because like I said in last week's episode, I want the underdogs and the low-key names to come through and whoop some pro ass, you know. Take down those big names that got in there. Take down those names that everyone always loves. And don't get me wrong, those guys are good, but I always root for the underdog. I want to see some fresh blood come through, and I want to see this new generation just arise after this competition.
Yeah, nobody wants to see another pro glover winning this tournament, right? You always got to root for the underdog,
Another
right?
Vex buying a Jaguar, winning, and all that stuff.
Vex, you're not getting another Jaguar, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
Dude. Let someone else buy a Jaguar, right?
Yeah. But yeah, cool, man. Let's talk about, you know, what are people using, right? Like we were actually thinking that a lot of people were going to come into this with like some high quality, super expensive camera equipment, right? But we actually see a lot of GoPro users. I think about half of everybody that entered was using a GoPro. A lot of people using, you know, Canon T3Is and stuff like that. But then also a lot of iPhone, Samsung Galaxy cameras. So it really just goes to show that you can enter this tournament and do it with pretty much anything. There's no limits, there's no restrictions. You make do with what you got, and as long as you are, you know, doing it right, you get in, right?
Exactly, and like I said, when we judged these videos and selected who was going to get in, it was not based on what kind of camera you were using. It's based on the IGC scorecard, so how good was your show? Yep. And then, of course, if there were a lot of close calls, which there were, that's when we kind of had to, you know, look at the quality of your video to kind of break that tie. But all in all, this is a skill-based competition, and from here on out, the fate of these top 64 competitors is within the hands of the 3 judges: Ice Cream Teddy, Tangles, Vincent Van Flo.
Yep, official judge panel provided by Two Glove right there. Thank you once again for helping us out with season 1.
Yeah, and then the other thing that I noticed here too is the styles of glovers that have entered. So right off the bat, you guys know I'm an impactor. I saw a lot of impactors enter, and we actually have, I want to say, what, roughly 6 to 8 or something like that impactors in the top 64. You'll find out the names in a couple minutes, but damn, it's finally nice to see impactors step it up. Hey, maybe you guys could take it down and put our style on the map. Outside of that, of course, you got your flow guys and your tech guys. So, just cool to see all that around. And of course, there's your morphing, and there's a lot of you defined yourself as more versatile all-around glovers. So my point is, it's just, we're going to see a mix of a lot of different things here. And it's cool to see.
Definitely. A lot of people did say that they were flow glovers. I didn't see a lot of like just straight up digit style glovers, like, the ID kid, the CC kids. It was kind of unfortunate. I wanted to see some really tech heavy shows, but hey, maybe season 2, you guys will come back and throw it down for your style, right?
Yeah, come and enter. Other thing that we asked people when they entered was, what would you do? What would you do with the grand prize money, right? So the grand prize for this one is $1,500, and of course we have another $1,000 on top of that. Obviously, $500 to give to the second place, and the remaining money to give as cash bonuses throughout the tournament. So, what would you spend your money on if you could have entered?
Man, you just stole my question. I was literally about to ask you that, but I guess you guys already know what I'm gonna do. I'm either gonna buy a really big taco or a lot of little ones.
Well, you just stole my answer too, because I would have bought 1,500 LA street tacos. And that's like 3 tacos. That's like actually 4 to 5 tacos a day for the rest of this year.
Oh, that's just enough.
Just enough to keep me alive, to be here with you guys on a weekly basis for this live stream. But some of the answers that we got, from the people that did make it into the finalists: pay or save for college and school. Hey, that's a good thing. That's the great thing. Stay in school. Don't stay in there forever though. You got to get out there, work and hustle, and buy some Jaguars, just like Vex. And then, sorry, Vex, man, I love you. I'm sorry, I had to say that. And then, some of you said you would save and invest. Obviously, another very smart decision. The next, what are a few other ones we got here?
Yeah, you got everybody saying, buy more lights, more gloves, save up for like rare bulbs. You got festival kids, travel. Just a lot of different things that you guys want to do. But I think what it really comes down to is everybody wants to pay their rent. Everybody wants to pay their bills, right? And if you can do that by gloving at home, sounds pretty cool to me.
Yeah, I guess the point is, there's a lot of money at stake. There's going to be more and more money at stake as we go throughout future seasons. So that's just, there's so much opportunity here and excitement for you guys and for us. Speaking of extra seasons, I just want to make it clear, Lights On Season 2, you're not waiting another year for that to happen. That's happening actually probably in a few weeks or a couple months. So basically it's gonna happen as soon as season 1 ends, we're gonna roll straight into season 2. As soon as that ends, we're gonna roll straight into season 3. So, there's gonna be no waiting 1 year for anything to happen. It's just gonna keep going, and there's always gonna be competitions here on out from us.
Yep, the whole point is to keep on doing something new every single week, new updates, new competitions, new people, whatever it may be, this thing is constantly gonna be rolling on again.
Yep.
Sorry. I think we kept them waiting long enough. Why don't we just jump right into the names? So if you wanted to find out who made it into the top 64, or if you wanted to see if you made it into the top 64, here's what you find out right now. So go ahead and throw in the comments who you think made it while we read off this massive list of names.
No, we're not going to read this, man. I told the camera guy to prepare a nice little graphic to put on the screen, because I don't feel like talking too much. I want them to see their name so they know it's real.
All right, we should put some elevator music on. Can we do that, camera guy?
So 30 seconds, put it right here. Put it right there.
Cool.
Okay, let's just sit here and stare at the camera awkwardly while you guys see who made it into the competition. All right.
Look at those names. Just look. Oh, would you look at that?
Look, right away, what do we got? We got Corduroy. We got Corduroy in there, repping the impacting style. He's a fan favorite in that style, so obviously one of my very close friends, so good to see. We got Recluse, which is one of my favorites,
Alien Fingers.
Alien Fingers, exactly. We got, what do we got? We got Mega Sloth, some more Alien Fingers. We got...
Enlight from Portland. Shout out to LED Glow sponsor right there.
We got your fan favorites, of course. You guys saw that posted Glover's Lounge. We got Outlaw in there. We got Jest. We got Puppet, of course. We got Tranquil, and then honestly, we have a lot of names that I've never heard of. But damn, you guys threw some heat. Right here, right? What is this?
Yeah, a lot more low-key names. Omega from here in Irvine, actually, I think. Cloud, Frodo, Rec from out in Arizona, holding it down for the new crew. Long from Vietnam, who I really want to see take it in this tournament all the way out there.
All the way from Vietnam. And with that note, we got Thomas from Australia. So, it's great to see those international guys stepping in. And hey, hopefully you guys can take home the gold for your countries.
Seriously, a lot of cool people here. Layout, Mango, Panders One. A lot of people that I've never personally seen or heard of, but their videos really kind of speak for themselves.
But yeah, that's just a few of the names. Obviously, you guys see them all on the screen. But yeah, after the live stream, we'll be posting the list again, just for everyone else who couldn't tune in, and obviously for you guys to just see it again. Make sure you look into our Instagram account or our Facebook account. We'll post it also in Glover's Lounge and wherever else. But yeah, it's exciting to see these names finally here. It was a really hard decision. I mean, we went over for like 2 days just trying to finalize this list, and there's a lot of close calls, but this is it. So on that note, of all these guys that entered, we asked the question, who do you want to battle the most? Hey,
everybody wants a piece of Outlaw. Everybody wants to battle Outlaw, apparently.
Yeah,
right?
Wasn't Outlaw like the fan favorite in Glover's Lounge? Yep. And everyone wants a piece of him. So, dude, you got it coming for you. You better watch your back. You better lab it up hard, and because people want a piece of you.
Oh, definitely. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
I still want to see that Outlaw versus Vex match, though, for me personally.
I hope someone beats both of them early on. Come on, underdogs.
So I guess what happens from here on out? Like, what's the next step for these competitors? What can they expect now?
What can you expect now? So obviously the top 64. The next thing you're probably wondering is, well, what are the freaking matchups? Is it gonna be Vex versus Outlaw or whatever it is, right? Mm-hmm. Tune in next Tuesday where we will show you the brackets and who's facing off against who. And yeah, I mean, we're basically entering this into our online bracketing system, and you guys will see that. I mean, I guess for you, man, what are some cool matchups that you would love to see?
Shoot, like I said, I want to see that Outlaw versus Vex match. I'm a big Tranquil fan. He's a close friend of mine. I want to see him just wreck everybody in his way. Honestly, I'm rooting for you, dude. You better do it because I'm helping you film sometime soon.
I only want him to wreck if he impacts. So Vin, impact.
Do the thing.
And maybe I'll root for you.
Yeah, but yeah, like you said, the international guys, I really want to see them make it out there. Thomas especially, and Long, I really just want to see them make it past, round 1, round 2, and really hold it down for the rest of the competition. For the rest of the guys, it's really hard to say who else I'm excited to see because there's just so many dope names that are in here. It's hard for me to pick favorites when they're all your friends, right?
Yeah, I don't have friends. No, but yeah, I mean, one thing I hope to see, obviously, Corduroy is a big powerhouse in the impacting asylum. So I want to see him go up against Thomas, who is like one of the most talented up-and-comers from Australia and one of the best impactors in the scene that I believe in.
It's like old school versus new school, right?
Old school versus new school, And there's also Zero from the Impact Asylum, who's a beast. If he goes up against Corduroy or even Thomas, I think that would be a great matchup as well. And, like I said earlier, I keep saying it, I just want to see some upsets. I want to see some of these unknown guys just beat out some of the sponsored Glovers from all the different companies. Like, damn, dude, it would be cool to see, so.
Yeah, seriously. So yeah, on that note, all you top 64 guys, keep an eye out for your emails. We'll be emailing you pretty soon with all the info that you need for round 1 and adding you to our secret Facebook group where we're going to be keeping in contact with you guys there. But basically, if you made it into the top 64, you can start recording your round 1 video right now. And we really recommend you doing that because you basically have a couple weeks here to do it. Don't shoot yourself in the foot and do it last minute like some of these guys did.
You already know who you are. Start recording. And remember, when you record, you cannot use the same song that you did for your entry video.
Yep.
And that also applies for the rest of the competition. So if you make it into the top 32, you have to use a song that you have not used, so on and so forth for the rest of the round. So I think that covers most of the very important details.
Yeah, pretty much it. I think from now, it's just waiting to see, you know, these brackets next week, Tuesday at 5 p.m. Tune in right here. We're going to show you the matchups, show you who's going to go against who, and it's going to be lit.
Peace.
See ya.
Turn that shit off, camera guy.